Good afternoon, appreciated doctors. In this opportunity, very honored and grateful to the International Institute of Crime and Security Science and the Dr. K. Hashinkar, founding principal director. Then we talk first about the cybercrime and digital natives. In this sense, we have the cyberspace has become a privileged environment for the mass dissemination of content, significantly amplifying of damage of such offense to a global sphere. These are so-called content cybercrime and cyber attacks. The first type of the cyber attacks, economic cybercrimes, poses troubles in incriminate the alleged criminals and conclude a successful criminal prosecution. The second category, social civil crimes, also presents characteristics of rapid evolution, and it's not exempt from difficulties in applying existing criminal precepts. And the third category, political civil crimes, presents obstacles in prevention with risks of affecting freely exercise fundamental rights and naturally in the attribution of criminal liability to the perpetration. Social cybercrimes are based on the translation to the internet of social relation existence in real life. In particular, they are reflected in the already typified crimes arising for relationships and conflicts between the people. The coronavirus pandemic, with hit Western countries hard in March 2020, making on market a turning point in the use of ICTs to avoid face-to-face meetings. Whether from a work perspective, teleworking, or from a friendship and affective perspective, increasing the incidence of social civil crimes. Millennials or digital natives who are electronics devices for a large part of their daily activities are the generation with the highest exposure to suffer the repercussions of this category of cybercrime. As well, when no people can be harassed through digital means, cyberspace offers the possibility of carrying out thousands of kilometers away insults, slander, threats, coercion, and other aggressions at minimal cost, easily, properly through social networks. Cybercrime with the future or the figure of the hacker. If we focus on age as a factor in the profile to the cyber criminal, it's clear that most cyber crimes are committed by young people. There are basically two reasons for this phenomenon. The fact that young people can be considered digital natives and that they have more time available to look for vulnerabilities in networks. This leads us to conclude that as the years go by, these digital knives get older. The average age of the virtual offender will also increase. Then we talk the most significant profiles of serial criminals. The first of this describes as disloyal and resentful worker who, upon leaving the company and with vindicate proposed attacks its data storage system, and with Bindibit propose attacks is the talking advantage of his access and the knowledge he has acquired on the job using his access and knowledge acquired on the job. In Anglo-Saxon doctrine, this profile is known as insider. In these cases, we call be taking about the crime of computer damage of cracking. The second profile corresponds to the criminal with developed computer skills who in some way boycotts to the computer tools of an outside entity and after achieving it offers anonymously of covertly to restore the state of things after the violation created by him. The subject would, on this occasion, be quality of the crime or computer damage, such as those described in this previous paragraph, for example. A professionalistic group that it's guided by these behavior guidelines are very criers who enter a computer system in order to introduce a virus into it with the aim of destroying mm, the system with the aim of the disinformation as is possible to uh, differentiate between begin virus which anonym but to do no harm and malicious virus. Similarly, these profiles corresponds to cyber scammers who may engage its phishing, farming, fake sales, or fake actions. It's also common, thirdly, the criminal vocation in a primary occasional and solitary offender who with little computer knowledge but talking about of the possibilities and the form of tools but taking advance of the accessing training use the internet to meddle in the intimate secrets that both his close notes, ex-partners, co-workers, works competitor, fellow students, for example, and people with a certain public projection may have in order to bring them to light by telematic means accessible to the general public, incurring on course in criminal of discovery and disclosure of secrets. On the other hand, the youngest can also can play the role to active subject in certainly criminal behaviors in a virtual world uh, where they have developed their skills naturally since childhood. From childhood, in a natural way, those cases of cyberbullying or moving or stalking are common not always due to the easy of instantaneous capture of imaging and some they have things or their cell phones and the habitual is the makeup of this age of virtual communication tools such as chats, social networks, emails, or even of video game chats in others. Example, the normalization of these behaviors among their peers and the minimization of the risks associated with these behaviors only encourage new forms of uh, crime as information exchange system emerge of the internet. Likewise, the case of child grooming is also where now, in which middle age of older or elderly individuals, generally males, simulate their age thanks to the possibilities of anonymity and identify simulation that the network allows. In other, they approach minors with sexual intention who are vulnerable to this type in threat of the network. However, the, the difference of criminal decisions in cyberspace is an use that has between widely addressed by doctrine in and which states and private entities have focused on recent years. In fact, not only have legislative advances and reforms being implemented, but also the prevention of the cybercrime has been solved from a technical or state security perspective, with a focus on both victims and perpetrators, advance and reforms that today seem to be lagging behind ineffective in a face of the unstoppable rise in cybercrime. But the fight against cybercrime involves much more. Uh, Above all, cyber criminals are demonstrate a wide and superior knowledge of cybercrime to carry out their criminal action compared to their victims. Therefore, it's required, especially a high-level training for the actors involved in the cybercrime trouble. Then, raising awareness of cybersecurity and fundamental rights issues among the personnel and church. Then, uh, incentivize for the specialists to participate and provide timely and effective advice. Finally, the active participation of the state sector and public and private companies. Thank you very much for your attention.